Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video I'll be discussing the cost that I spent on my Dhanushkodi travel. So there were a few people who personally asked me, and there were people who asked me on my DMs on how much did it cost for my travel. So I'll be splitting all the day wise amount that I've spent, and I'll be showing you the complete breakdown. Let's go through one by one, and I've actually written everything on a book so that I don't forget anything. 23rd Jan was my initial day, which I left my home at 4 o'clock, and the first amount that I spent was on the fuel, obviously. So that was around 1126 rupees, and then I had a small breakfast which was around 73 rupees, and then the place that I reached was for my seat modification. So there I had a lunch which was for around 126. I just had a normal South Indian lunch, so that was around 126 rupees. For the seat I spent some amount that I'll talk it in the next video. And then the room, on the first day the room costed me a lot, which was around 1500, which was okay for that kind of room which had ACs and all. So because I didn't find any other rooms in that surrounding area, and this was the only one that was available for this much cheap price. And since that was an holiday season, all the prices were high, and this was the least that I can find there. Post checking into my room, I went down and had a dinner. There was a hotel below itself, so I had a dinner over there itself, and that costed me around 170 rupees. And then when we go to some places, we have to eat or drink some local foods there, right? So I had a jigardanda which was for 65 rupees. So the total amount for that one day is 4012 rupees. Where I spend most of the amount is in my fuel and my room that I've spent. Okay, so this was for the day one. So the first day travel was from Bangalore to Marakanam, and from Marakanam to Tanjavur. Okay, so this was the place that I covered on first day. I don't know how many kilometers it was. I'll just take a screenshot and I'll just upload it over here. And the next day I checked out my room at 5 o'clock, and then on the second day I left the room at 5 a.m. and then I went to temple, which is the big temple, and then went had a breakfast, and then from there I started my journey. And then from there I went directly to Rameswaram. So morning I had the breakfast for around 70 rupees, and then from there I went on filled fuel which was for around 732 rupees. And then there was some other small cost that I had to spend, which was for my toothbrush, my soap and paste and everything. And then I bought some wet tissues to clean my helmet, of course. From there, after filling the fuel, it was completely raining over there, so I had to buy two raincoats, because the one which I bought first time, that was not at all suiting for me and my backpack. So I had to stop somewhere else and then buy another one. So those two costed me around 230 rupees. Raincoats were 100 rupees each, but then I took a towel as well to clean my seat. So that was 230 rupees. And then I had some coconut on the way to Rameswaram. That was around 70. And then I had a lunch on the way itself. That was around 80 rupees. And then on the second day, the room was actually cheap. So this is something called as Alayam. They have it in Rameswaram. So this is kind of a hotel that has been provided by the government itself. The rooms were pretty clean. The rooms were pretty big. You had ample amount of space, and the beds were also clean, and it was too big. Actually, 4 people can easily fit in that room in that one bed. So if in case, I'll just put all the details in the description. Just have a check if in case you guys are traveling there. So that was around 1000 rupees per night. Okay, 1000 rupees per 24 hours, I guess. But I just checked out the next day morning itself. So that was around 1000 rupees. And then the dinner was in that hotel itself. So that was around 150 rupees for the buffet. In the buffet you get something like idli, vada, maybe some dosa, chapati, and a bit of rice. And then that was it. For the second day I spent around 2032 rupees. This is it. So and then from the next on the second day, which I checked out my room, which was around maybe 5, I left the room, I guess 5 or 5:30 something. Then I reached the checkpoint near Dhanushkodi, and then from the checkpoint I went in and then enjoyed everything there, and then we came back. So there was one more person who joined along with me for the ride. He was also from Bangalore, so we joined and we rode back to Bangalore. And on the third day, which is the last day in Dhanushkodi, which was on 25th of Jan. So the fuel that I spent over there was 1165 rupees, which was in the morning. I filled it, and then we had a lunch in Madurai. That was around maybe 3 to 4 p.m. in the evening. So we had lunch that costed around 1200 rupees for both of them. So my share was 610 rupees, which we had biryani, parota, and I don't remember exactly what else we had. And after reaching Madurai, you definitely have to try jigardanda. So we went there for the famous spot over there, and then we had one more jigardana there. That was around 100 rupees for both. And then I filled fuel again for 300 rupees, and then at the night 8 for 750 rupees. This is on the way to Bangalore. And at midnight we had a stop in some place. I don't remember exactly that place, but we had just had some light dinner, and then that other person had some tea, and that's it. From there we started our journey, and then we reached to Bangalore. So on the third day, how much I spent was 2,975 rupees, which is totaling up to 9,019 rupees. So the first day was 4,012, the second day was 2,032, the third day was 2,975. Overall 9,019. If you ask me what was the major spend that I did, it will be mostly on the fuel and the room, because these two are the main things that you have to consider when you're traveling on a bike. And if in case you guys are planning for multi-city travel within South India or North India, just make sure you stop at some point and then take a rest, and then the next day start early. Why I'm telling is this, because I traveled let's say closely around 1,600 kilometers all the way from Bangalore to Marakanam to Tanjavur to Dhanushkodi and then back to Bangalore. So this was everything was let's say 1,600 kilometers altogether. So on the first day you will definitely get exhausted. So just make sure you hydrate yourself, drink some coconut waters, water bottles, carry one with you. And if in case you are making any stop, just make sure you drink a lot of water, and then make your start again. Okay, when you're covering all these things, make sure you have proper riding gears, make sure you have proper riding boots. If in case you have a riding pant, well and good, and then a good helmet. If in case you're vlogging, make sure you have good cameras. If in case I missed something, I will make sure to mention it in the description. And wherever you travel, I'll just tell you one short point, which is wherever you travel, just make sure to check if they have the government provided hotel rooms, because that is way cheaper than any other hotels that you can find all over the town. This is one thing that I learned when on my travel to Dhanushkodi, so I'm just suggesting you this. I will suggest you to check with the auto drivers, because that one auto driver suggested me to check this Alayam hotel. So that is when I found out that they have some government provided rooms, and it costs way less than you think. So if in case you're planning on any trip, follow these things. If in case you're traveling alone, make sure to carry a baton and a knife. I don't know when you get use of this, but trust me, it will be useful if in case you are in some emergency. Okay, that's it for this video, and if in case there is anything, I'll make another one. So just watch the video till the end and comment your opinions or whatever it is. See you guys, ride safe, ride responsibly, and bye bye.